It's clear that Nioh is derivative of the Souls formula, but the way Nioh morphs and adds to this formula makes it a beast all of its own. Let's see why you should get down to killing some yokai. There are many elements that make the Souls game so special. The mysterious and obtuse story, the world dripping with atmosphere and history, the ominous sense of dread. But the core, the sweet little nugget around which all these fantastic elements orbit, is the challenging risk-reward combat. A combat that requires patience, adaptation and discipline. It's not just difficulty, any game can be hard, you can make an impossible game in an afternoon. I'm talking about a game that walks that razor edge where it's hard, but when you lose or die, you know that you fucked up. The game presented you with its limits and you broke them. That is what the Souls series is, and that is what Nioh emulates fantastically. I threw my controller a ton of times when I was playing this game, but because I made a mistake, not because the game was rigged. Let's take a step back a sec. Nioh puts you in the shoes of William, an Englishman with a guardian spirit that stops him from dying. A dark alchemist kidnaps this guardian spirit from you and flees to Japan. Nioh has a straightforward central conflict: rescue your guardian spirit. However, the interesting elements come from the Japanese landscape. There are multiple big players and a number of wars going on, and your journey takes you through these situations, forces you to engage in them. Furthermore, these aren't your normal wars. Some of the soldiers fighting in these wars are Oni, Japanese demons. Some of the main players are influenced by their own guardian spirits. The whole setting of Nioh is dripping with interesting Japanese folklore. It's a kind of fantasy that we rarely get to see in games. It has a great style and sense of identity, something a little unique and refreshing. Now don't get me wrong, it's dark and brooding, but it has a flavour. It also allows the environments of the game to be provocative and varied. You'll traverse through haunted bathhouses, dark mines, and ravaged battlefields all in one game. And all of these places have a sense of character. There are enemies in these areas that you won't find anywhere else. The architecture can be flat and simple, or complex, winding and confusing. The game does ask you to revisit areas, but whenever you're introduced to a new one, you know there's something special in store. Like the environments, the enemies are varied and interesting. There aren't actually that many things to take on in Nioh, but each enemy fights differently and requires you to adapt your style of play. Some require aggressive attacks to keep them stun locked, others need a more patient playstyle, waiting for your perfect moment to strike. You've got the normal game-like affair of skeletons and zombies, but then you've got the more complicated enemies like the Wheel Monk, who spins towards you, leaving a trail of fire in its wake. Not only do you need to dodge the attack and get in some hits of your own, the trail of fire has changed the battleground, and you need to play around that. Each enemy has an element like this, something that makes it an engaging encounter. Then you cram a few types of enemies in one room and each encounter becomes intense and tactical. And what about the bosses? You've got huge demons that slam and tear through the environment with surprising speed. Then you've got the agile human enemies that dash around you. Each of these bosses look amazing but also offer a unique challenge. Some attack or tactic that demands you adapt. It took me over 20 attempts to beat the second boss. It was frustrating as hell, but the process of picking apart the intricacies of its movement and strikes so that I could bring it down is one of the most satisfying experiences I've had in a game. Then there's the way you take on the enemies in Nioh. You've been watching the combat for a couple minutes now, and it looks similar to something like Bloodborne, Souls, but faster. In fact, Nioh may feel familiar, but there are some smart changes that make the combat a different kind of experience. Nioh makes your endurance, known as ki in this game, the centre of attention. First of all, there's the fact that you can see the enemy's ki in a bar below their health, and therefore react to that and plan around it. Maybe you're low on health and want to back up and heal, but you see that your opponent is nearly out of ki, so you go in for a couple more hits, which exhausts him, giving you a perfect opportunity to heal without putting yourself in danger. It adds a whole new level of strategy to the combat. Along with seeing your enemy's ki, you've got your ki pulse. This works a little like active reloading in Gears of War. Essentially, as you attack, your ki is depleted. When you finish your combo, your ki begins replenishing, but if you press R1 at the right time, a portion of your ki is refunded immediately. Used correctly, you can get combos out extremely quickly. It's not easy to do, but adds a satisfying complication to the combat and speeds up the entire game. This is bolstered by the weapons you can use in Nioh. They all offer something a bit different, from the ultra fast but short range dual katanas to the super cool kusarigama that gives you a ton of range. But even the heaviest and most cumbersome of weapons is pretty damn fast. It's not just the weapons that add to the variety of combat in Nioh. You see, Nioh has the basic leveling up of stats like in Souls games, but it also has intricate skill trees that can unlock different moves and combos, all of which offer utility in combat. Then there's your Spirit Guardian. It offers passive benefits, but you can also activate it to see your power grow for a short time. The depth and pace of combat is staggering. The enemies are fast, you're thinking about your ki, when to ki pulse, when to back off to heal, what range is most effective against the enemy you're fighting, when you should use your Guardian Spirit, what combo you should be using. All of this is happening in seconds. It is simply intoxicating. The Souls games are a gold standard, and we've seen games like Lords of the Fallen try to emulate that success, with mixed results. But Nioh manages it, and it adds its own flair. This is a game that can stand shoulder to shoulder with its source material. If you're a Souls fan looking for something new, or you've never played a Souls game and you're looking for a challenge, give Nioh a go. Thank you for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're so inclined. I'll see you next time.